So welcome everyone to Sunday morning yoga. Nice to have you all here. Take a moment, relax out onto your back. Take the feet nice and wide, let them flop out to the sides. Take the arms away from you, turning your palms up to face the ceiling. And just let your shoulder blades tuck underneath you. Chin is tucked, the neck is long. And the breath just starts to move through the nose, trying to maintain closed lips and a relaxed jaw. And start to notice the rise and fall of the navel as you breathe in and out. Start to notice the expansion and contraction through the rib cage as you breathe in and out. And even noticing that very subtle movement up at the collarbones as you breathe in and out. And every time you exhale, feel your body just settle a little heavier down to the ground. Let your mind just slowly quiet, letting go of any thoughts that linger there. Preparing yourself for this practice of yoga this morning. So we've now established a steady pace to the breath. See if you can try to maintain this breath throughout your class. Let your breath be your guide. And as you start to move your fingers and your toes, reanimating the body, start to rotate the hands and the feet at the wrist and the ankle joint. And as you do this, turn your head very slowly from side to side. And as your head rolls back to that center position, start to slide the legs together, pointing your toes, reaching your arms back and over your head. And then take an inhale, stretch out the right side of the body. As you exhale, relax the right side, and then inhale, stretch out the left side. And relax, let's do both sides together. Stretch back through the fingers and forward through the toes. And as you exhale, let the arms sweep down to your sides. And then draw your knees into your chest. And as you hug those knees in with your hands, just start to rock from side to side. Rolling from hip to hip, shoulder to shoulder, ear to ear. And as you roll back to center and plant your feet on the ground close to the buttocks at a hip distance stance, bring the arms right down to the sides and press your palms flat to your mat. Tucking the tail, tucking the chin. On the inhale, the hips rise. And on the exhale, lower the hips down. Inhaling to lift. And exhale to lower. And just continue a few rounds moving at the pace of your breath. Trying to keep those arms rooted down, palms pressing flat, and the fingers spread wide. The feet are parallel to one another, so the big toes ever so slightly turn it. The next time you inhale and lift your hips up, hold there at the top. Give a little squeeze between the shoulder blades and a little squeeze between those knees, ensuring that your knees stay right over top of your ankles. Pushing the heart towards the chin just a bit. Take another inhale, try to lift the hips a little higher, and as you exhale, lower your upper back, mid back, and low back down. Draw your right knee into your chest and reach for your right knee with those hands as you send your left heel away from you. Left leg is straight. Using your arms to pull that right leg in, start to push your knee into your hands at the same time. So there's a little bit of a push and a pull happening. Press the back of that left leg down to the ground, and on your next inhale, curl yourself up, trying to draw your chin or your forehead up towards that right knee. Let the elbows flare out to the sides, and try to really actively pull your shoulders down and away from your ears. Keep spreading the toes. Keep pushing the knee into the hands. Can you lift your left leg now 1 inch off the ground, hugging everything into the midline here? Take another inhale, pull yourself up just a little higher. As you exhale, lower the left heel, your back and your head down, and transfer your grip to the back of your right thigh. As you interlace the fingers there, begin to straighten out your right leg, and as you straighten your leg, push your leg into your palms, and once that leg is as straight as you can get it, begin to draw it towards you. And as you pull your leg in, try to push the leg still into the hands. Shoulders stay relaxed and down, away from the ears. Really trying to root that left leg down to the earth. On your next inhale, starting to lift the head, the upper back, walking the hands up the back of the leg if that's available, maybe to the calf, maybe to the ankle, looking up towards your thumbs. Put a bend in the elbows, activate the biceps. Pull the shoulders down and away from the ears. Keep pulling the leg in, keep pushing the leg into the hands. Take one last inhale, come all the way up to your highest. As you exhale, slide your hands down the legs so you can lower your back, your shoulders, your head down. The leg stays straight. Bring your arms right next to you. Imagining that you can make a footprint on the ceiling with the sole of that right foot. And then go ahead and point your right toes, lengthening the leg. As you exhale, flex the foot and spread the toes. Inhale to point. Exhale to flex. Inhale to point. Exhale to flex, and then keep the leg flexed. Press down through your hands and shoulders, your head, that entire left leg. Grow that right leg if you can, a little bit longer and even a little bit straighter. Take another full breath in, and on your exhale, let your leg come halfway down and pause there. And as you inhale, try to push your heel out and away, and then come down halfway again. Full deep breath comes in, heel presses away, and then we lower that right leg right to the ground. Relax it, and give it a gentle shake. Good, and then flexing the right foot, go ahead and draw your left knee into the chest. Reach up for the knee with both the hands. Squeeze that leg in. Pressing the right leg down to the ground. Using the strength of the arms to pull that left leg in to the center of the left side of the chest, and at the same time, begin to push your knee into your palms. Shoulders stay relaxed and down, away from the ears. Good, let's take an inhale, lifting yourself up off the ground, trying to bring the forehead or the chin up towards the knee, flare the elbows out to the sides, pull the shoulders down, and keep pushing your left knee into your hands. And now we're gonna float that right leg just an inch off the ground. Keep spreading the toes on both feet. Keep pushing that left knee into the palms and feel your back come a little further off the ground. Take one last deep breath in, and as you exhale, lower your right heel, lower your back and your head down, and then take your grip to the back of your left thigh, interlace the fingers there, and slowly straighten that left leg. Push your leg into your hands, and then when that leg is as straight as you can get it, begin to pull it towards you. So you're going to continue to push the leg into those palms, relaxing the shoulders down away from the ears. Keep pressing that right leg towards the earth. On an inhale, let's lift the head and the upper back, walking the hands up the back of the leg perhaps, looking up towards the thumbs. Relaxing the shoulders, but flare the elbows as you pull that straight left leg in. Keep pressing the right leg down at the same time. Breath is moving in through the nose and out through the nose. Take another inhale, pull yourself up a little higher, squeeze that leg in, and then slide the hands down the leg as you lower your back and your head to the earth. Let your arms come down beside you. And again, make that footprint on the ceiling with the sole of your left foot. Keep pushing into the palms and the shoulders as you point your left toes, lengthen that left leg, and then flex your foot and spread your toes. Point and flex. Point and flex, and then spreading your toes, press up through the heel. Pressing down through the palms, the elbows and the shoulders. Press down through that right leg, make that left leg as long as it can possibly be. Maybe the eyes are even closed as you focus the awareness and the attention inwards. Take another deep breath in, and with your exhale, let your left leg come down halfway and pause. Inhale, create a bit more length if you can, and then lower halfway down. Push out through the heel, deep breath comes in, and we lower the left heel down to the ground. Let it relax for a moment, and then give that left leg a gentle shake. Walking your feet now towards your hands, planting your heels directly in front of those sitting bones. Big toes slightly turn in as you flatten the low back, keeping your head straight. Inhale, lift your hips up and hold your bridge here. Walk your hands, if you can, a bit closer together. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Hug those knees in over the ankles. Press down through all four corners of the feet. Press down through the length of those arms. Press down through the shoulders and even the back of your head. And then take another deep breath in. Rise onto the toes, send the arms to a T, and as you exhale, lower your upper back, mid back, and low back down. Let your heels touch down and let your palms turn down towards the ground. Inhale, knees to chest. Arms stay to a T as you lower your legs to the right and turn your head to the left. Try not to lift that left shoulder as your feet settle down towards the ground. Palms can stay as they are, facing down, or if you prefer, you can turn the palms up and try to relax here. Letting gravity pull your body down towards the ground. Take another full breath in, and exhale, let all the air go. Press both palms to the floor. Once again, flex the feet, inhale, head and knees to center, and exhale to change sides. Legs to the left, head turns to the right, relaxing the feet before the right shoulder lifts, and then turn your palms up and relax and breathe. Breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the nose. Good, pressing your palms down to the ground, re-engaging those legs. Wait for the inhale to come up. Reach for the knees with your hands. And one last little rock side to side. Roll all the way to the right, press into your left palm to come up to seated and make your way into a ragdoll standing forward fold at the top of your yoga mat. So you want about 2 fist distance between the heels, the knees are bent, the arms hang heavy. And just let that whole torso dangle. Balance the weight evenly between your heels and your toes as best you can, and give your head a little shake as though saying no. And as your head comes back to center, give it a little nod as though you were saying yes. One more time, back to center, shaking the head no, just turning it side to side. Back through center, one last little nod as though you were saying yes, up and down. And then just let that head hang. Pressing through the feet, the arms still hanging, the chin is tucked on an inhale. Start to roll slowly up over the span of several breaths. Starting stacking vertebra in the low back, moving into that mid back. Keep that little bend in the knees. As you start to move into the upper back, the legs can begin to straighten, the shoulders roll back and down, the palms turn forward, and the chin now just pulls back towards that throat. Lifting through the crown of your head, firmly grounding through all 4 corners of your feet. As you inhale, the arms float out and all the way up. As you exhale, lean to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, lean to your left. Inhale, come up and look up. Take the back bend as you exhale. Inhale back to the top. Turn the palms out and swan dive all the way down. Forehead draws in. Now look forward as you inhale, lengthening your spine. Plant your palms shoulder distance apart and walk, step or float to the top of a push-up. Shoulders stay over the wrists. If you need a modification, simply let those knees settle down. Grip with the fingers as you push the earth away from you. Press the space between your shoulder blades up towards the ceiling above you. Look forward as you inhale, lower with control as you exhale, and then untucking the toes as you lift through the back of the head, coming into your cobra, bhujangasana. Relax those shoulders down, squeeze between those shoulder blades. Heavy through the tops of the feet, take one more inhale, come up a little higher, and exhale, the forehead touches, tuck the toes, inhale to plank. Press back to your downward facing dog. Turning the big toes slightly in, walking those heels up and down a few times. Noticing if one side is tighter than the other. And once you've done both sides evenly, press both heels down at the same time. Lift the hips as high as you can. Push that chest gently back. As you inhale, float up onto the toes, soften the knees and look forward, and let your feet come forward to meet your hands. Inhale, take the flat back. And exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, circle the arms up, look up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale. Exhale completely. Let's inhale, circle the arms up, look forward as you lean to the right on the exhale, hold. Keep that right shoulder coming forward. Extend and lengthen through those fingers. On your inhale, come back up slowly and then lean to the left as you exhale. Hold here. Chest is facing straight ahead, as are both the hips. Good. As you inhale, come up and look up. Push the hips forward as you take the back bend and hold. Lift the chest towards the ceiling. Glutes are active and engaged here. On your next inhale, come up slowly, palms open, soft knees, swan dive all the way down. Now inhale, come up halfway and lengthen. Plant both your palms. Step back to the top of a push-up. Press firmly through those hands. Lift through the low belly. As you inhale, look forward. As you exhale, lower shoulders and hips at the same time. And as you untuck the toes, gently lift through the back of the head. And breathe. Push into the hands. Inhale a little higher. Tuck the toes. Take it right back to downward facing dog. And inhale, lift your right leg up. Flex that right foot. Keep your toes pointing down to the earth. Press that heel straight back behind you. See if you can inhale that right leg a little higher. As you exhale, take a big step forward with that right foot. Walk the foot closer to the right hand. Start to wiggle that left foot back as far as you can take it. Come into that runner's lunge. Knee over ankle, shoulders over wrists. Square your hips to the top of your mat. Bring your left hand a bit closer to that right foot and let your right arm come out like a wing. Looking out to that right thumb, let's inhale, lift that right arm up. Spiral your chest. Open to the right. Keep pressing that left leg as straight as you can. Take another inhale, reach and extend through those right fingers. As you exhale, the right arm comes down. Let's bend the left knee, push off the left foot, and lift the left leg up towards the ceiling, crawling your fingers forward, away from your right foot. Try to lift your chest away from the earth. Send the crown of the head forward in front of you and press that left heel straight back behind you. So less of a fold over that right leg and more of a lengthening and extension. So as you rise to your fingerprints, lift the chest up. Look forward ahead of the hands. The hands are about torso's length in front of you. Take another deep breath in. As you exhale, start to walk your hands back now. Folding the chest down, tucking the chin in, using the strength of the arms now to pull yourself towards that right leg. Good. Inhale, lift the chest, crawl those fingers forward. Now take your left leg, cross it behind your right, and try to bring the pinky toe edges of the feet towards each other. Now look forward in front of you as you inhale, and fold over those legs. As you exhale, relax your head. Try to bring just as much weight into the toes as you have back in your heels. Good. As you inhale, lift the chest, look forward, uncross the legs, plant that left foot beside the right foot, and fold over your thighs. As you inhale, flat back. As you exhale, plant the palms, take it back to plank pose. Pressing through those hands, inhale, look forward. Exhale, lower shoulders and hips at the same time. Lift through the back of the head into your cobra. Breathe deeply. Good, let's take one more inhale, come up a little higher, tuck the toes, float those hips up, chest presses back, downward dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Level your hips out. Flex that foot, spread your toes, press out through the heel. As you breathe, inhale that left leg just a bit higher and then take a big step forward with that left foot, walking the foot towards the left hand as you slide and wiggle that right foot as far back as you can. Rise to all 10 of your fingerprints, lifting the chest away from the front thigh. Pulling the left hip back, shifting that right hip forward. Now the right hand comes in just a bit closer to the left foot and the left arm comes out like a wing. Turn your head, look at your thumb. Inhale and start to lift the arm up. Spiraling your chest, open to the left. Keep sinking those hips down towards the ground at the same time. Left hip is drawing back, and right hip is moving forward. Breathing. Take another inhale, reach and extend up, and exhale, lower that left hand down, moving the right hand out of the way, bending your right knee, lift that right leg up to the sky, crawling your hands forward now, away from your left foot. Rise to your fingerprints, lift your chest away from the earth. Extend the crown of the head forward and press that right heel back behind you. Keep looking forward just ahead of those fingers and take one more inhale. As you exhale, start to crawl your hands back, bringing your chest down, the chin, nose then forehead draw in, using those arms and their strength to pull yourself towards that left leg. Good. See if you can take one more inhale. Lift that right leg even higher as you exhale. Bring those hands forward so you can cross that right leg behind the left leg, pinky toe edges of the feet towards each other. Look forward as you inhale and fold over those legs as you exhale. Bring some weight into the toes. As you inhale, lift the chest. As you exhale, uncross the legs and plant that right foot next to the left, and then fold over those thighs. Let your arms be heavy. Let your head just hang. Good. Let's plant the palms shoulder distance apart. Step those feet back and just press back into your downward facing dog. Hips high, press the heels down. Stretch out the arms, lengthen your entire spine. Let's take a big step forward with the left foot and walk the hands around to the right until you're facing the long end of your mat. Pigeon toe your feet with about one leg's length in between them. So as you slide the heels out, lean some weight into the toes, look forward as you inhale, plant your hands shoulder distance apart as you exhale, and start to walk those hands back. Try to keep the entire palm rooted. When you can't walk your hands back any further, keep hugging your elbows into a shoulder distance width. Tucking the chin, let your head go. Imagine you could pull yourself right through those legs. Try to keep the entire palm rooting. Hips come forward in line with the ankles. Shoulders pull back away from the ears. On your inhale, crawl those hands forward, rise to your fingerprints, look out in front of you, put a little bend into the knees and bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, rise to standing. See something in front of you and turn your right toes out. Line up the heels. Still about one of your own leg's length in between the feet. So your left foot is in a pigeon-toed position. Slide your left heel back just a little bit further. Take your arms to a T. Take your gaze down that right arm and start to reach out over that straight right leg. When you can't reach any further over the leg, keep your left arm and torso where they are and let your right hand come down to rest lightly on that right leg. Look at your left hand. Rotate the left thumb up to face the ceiling and begin to lift that left arm straight up towards the ceiling. Try to keep your legs straight without locking out those knee joints. Relax both of your shoulders down away from your ears here in Trikonasana. Take one last deep breath in, extend through those left fingers. As you exhale, look down to the right big toe. Inhale, come up, arms to a T, turn your right toes in. Pivot and turn your left toes out. And again, the heels are in line, the right foot is pigeon-toed, slide just the right heel back, and now look down that straight left arm. Start to lean and reach over that left leg. Torso stays where it is, as does the right arm, and the left hand comes down to rest lightly. Look back over that right shoulder for the right hand and turn your thumb up to face the ceiling, and start to lift that arm now straight up. Keep the shoulders down, away from the ears. Tuck the tailbone, draw that low belly in. Press evenly and firmly through both of the feet. Take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, look down. Let's bring both hands to the ground as we bend our left knee, come onto the right toes, step back to downward facing dog. Hips high, heels pressed down as you push your chest back. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, lower your knees. Lower your elbows directly behind those hands so your forearms are parallel. Relax your head, toes are still tucked. Lift your knees and push your chest back. You're in a modified downward dog on your forearms. Press firmly through those forearms and palms. Lift those hips as high as you can. Take another full inhale, and as you exhale, lower your knees. Reach your hands now for the outsides of those upper arms, bringing your elbows in a little bit closer together. And then let your hands come forward, make a basket interlacing your fingers, separating your thumbs as you point those thumbs straight up towards the ceiling. Now really press down through those forearms, draw the shoulders away from the ears, and let the top of your head rest down onto your yoga mat, just inside those hands. Press through those elbows and forearms. Pull the shoulders up and back, away from the ears. Option 1 is to stay right here. Option 2, you can tuck the toes, straightening the legs, walking the feet towards the face. You can hold the half headstand. Keep pulling the shoulders away from the ears. If this becomes too much or you're feeling pain in your neck, set the knees back down. If you can go further, keep walking your feet in until you can squeeze your knees maybe into your chest. Maybe just squeezing one knee in at a time. Maybe both knees can come in at the same time. If you're doing one at a time, you can play between the two sides. Take rest when you need to. You can always come back down to your knees. If the knees are into the chest, you might be able to take the knees and point them straight up towards the ceiling, keeping the heels towards the buttocks to start. And then the last place to take yourself in the pose is to bring the heels away from the buttocks and extend those toes to the ceiling. So the tail is tucked, the low belly is pulled in, the shoulders are drawn back away from the ears. There should never be pain in your body in a posture. So it's your job to constantly listen, check in, see what's going on, modify as you need to. Good, so if the legs are extended straight up and you're in headstand, you can take variations if you'd like. If you're in a modified half headstand, you can walk the feet back and set the knees down and take it back into child's pose. Giving that upper body a little bit of rest. It's far more work to hold the half headstand than the full headstand in a lot of ways. But if you've taken variations and you've already come down, make sure you're resting in child's pose for a few more breaths. And when you're ready, slowly come up through Vajrasana to make your way into a seated position with your legs extended straight out in front of you. And as you extend those legs straight out, remove the flesh from underneath those sitting bones and pull all 10 toes back towards you. Shoulders over the hips, ears over the shoulders. As you inhale, let your arms float up, and as you exhale, move your heart in the direction of the feet as you reach across the room with those hands. Now keep pulling those toes back, keep pressing the heels away. Take another inhale, really extend from the hips to the shoulders, right out through the wrists, and then begin to relax the arms down. What can you grab with a little bend in your elbows? Take that grip on the side of the legs or the feet, and then draw the low belly in. Drag the chest a little further through those upper arms, and then relax your head all the way down as you close your eyes. Folding that body in half, hinging right from those hips. Continuing to move the heart towards the toes as you pull your toes back towards your heart. Long, very slow, deep breathing here. As you inhale, lift the chin. As you exhale, extend and reach the arms again. Inhale, come all the way up. Palms turn out, circle the arms down. Release down onto your back. Draw your knees into your chest. Hug them in with your hands and just rock from side to side. Coming back to center, arms are like railings, right tucked into the sides, palms pressing flat. Send the soles of your feet up towards the ceiling. You can stay here, or you can opt to pop your hips up off the mat and allow your legs to fall over your face. Do not turn your head here. As the legs come over the face, can you walk your hands a bit closer to one another, squeezing those shoulder blades, squeezing those elbows in a bit, and then turning your palms up, bend at the elbows, and place your hands on the small of your back. Pinky fingers on either side of your spine as you slowly start to lift the legs up. Keeping the elbows hugging in. Maintaining that long, deep breath. Allowing any pooling blood to be pulled by gravity out of the legs back towards the heart. Keeping that breath slow and steady, moving it in and out through your nose. If you are in shoulder stand, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, allow the right leg to come over the face, and then inhale, lift the right leg up, and exhale, let the left leg come down. Inhale, lift the left leg up, and allow both legs to come down at the same time. If you're in legs up, you can go legs wide if you'd like. Those of you coming down into plow, with the legs over the face, if your toes touch the floor behind the back of the head, those hands can release away from the low back and press to the earth. And you can go legs wide as well in this posture, walking those feet as far apart as they can. pressing out through the heels. So if you're in plow and you've taken those legs wide, bring the legs back together, bring your palms to the floor and start to lower your upper back down to the ground. If you're lying on your back with legs wide, let your legs come back together. Once your low back has come down to the floor, we're all in the same position. So press the heels towards the ceiling above you. Take a deep breath in and begin to lower both your legs slowly with control, pushing your heels forward as your legs descend. And once those heels touch down, take the feet apart, turn the palms up for a moment, and just take a few breaths here. Slowing the breath down, slowing the heart rate down. And then bringing your legs together as you prepare for your fish pose, sliding one arm at a time underneath your body so that you've got thumb next to thumb. And then try to wiggle your elbows in as far underneath you as you can by lifting those low ribs up, walking your hands a little further down the backs of those legs. Now pointing your feet and spreading your toes, inhale, lift your head, look down at your navel, lift your shoulders, push your heart right up to the ceiling and start to relax your head all the way back, lowering yourself down until your head makes very light contact with the earth. Most of the weight is in those arms, those forearms, so push into the forearms and lift that chest. Keep spreading those toes. Continue to breathe in and out through your nose. Good. Take one last inhale, really filling up, and as you exhale, let all the air go. And we inhale, lift the head enough to clear, lower the back and the head down. Take your arms out from underneath you. Walk your feet towards you. Let your knees very loosely come in toward your chest, hug them in, and just rock gently from side to side. Rolling your body back to center, let your knees go really wide as you prepare for happy baby. Take your arms through the inner edges of those legs, grabbing either your shins or your ankles, maybe your toes, maybe your inner arches, but don't lift your low back off the ground as you point the soles of your feet now straight up to the ceiling. And now keeping that low back on the ground, the tailbone down, the shoulders down, use the strength of the arms to pull those knees gently down to either side of you. Keep those shoulders pulled back and down away from the ears, and if it feels good, you can rock a little bit from side to side. And as we keep that tailbone rooted, you should feel this quite a bit across that very low back, upper buttock area. Let yourself come back to center if you are rocking. Take another inhale, pull those knees to their absolute furthest, and then release your grip. Bring your knees to your chest. Squeeze them in gently. Setting your feet down on the ground. Heels close to the buttocks. Arms hugging the sides as you press the palms flat. Tuck the tailbone and inhale, come up into one more round of bridge, Setu Bandhasana. If you'd opt to go for a wheel, now would be your chance. If you want to take your bridge a little further, you have the option to clasp your hands underneath you as well. Work to your edge here, that place of comfortable discomfort in your pose. Maintain that long, deep breathing in and out through your nose. Can you take one last inhale, maybe come up a little higher, and then as you exhale, start to dismantle your pose slowly and safely. As that low back touches down, Bring your arms out to a T. Keeping your heels as close to you as you can, let your feet now walk to the edges of your mat, so your knees are bent quite deeply. Stopping when you feel the pinky toes at the edges of your mat, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, so keeping your feet apart from one another, walk your feet as wide apart as they'll go so your knees can fall towards each other. You're going to let both your knees melt to the right as you turn your head to the left. So you're rolling onto the outer edge of your right foot and the inner edge of your left. Your left foot is still right over at the left side of your yoga mat. There's a couple options here. It might feel good to pick up your right foot and place it on top of that left leg, just above the knee. Or you can keep the right foot right where it was and walk your left foot a little further out to the left. See what feels good for your body, and maybe the initial position is exactly where you need to be. So just breathe, slow and steady, targeting your hips now, the side of that left leg. Good. If you picked that right foot up, you can set it back down. If you walked your left foot out, you can bring it back in and then wait for the inhale. Let your head and your knees come up slowly. And as you exhale, just simply change sides. Legs now to the left, and the head turns to the right. So the feet are as wide as the mat is. You've rolled to the outer edge of the left foot this time and the inner edge of your right. Did you make an adjustment or a modification on the other side? Maybe the left foot's coming up to the right knee. Maybe the right foot's walking further out to the right, or perhaps you're staying right where you landed. And with that right foot still really over at the right side of your mat, if that left foot's resting on that right leg, you're adding a bit of weight, deepening the stretch through that right hip flexor and down the side of that right leg. If you picked the left foot up, set it back down. If you walked the right foot out, kind of wiggle it back into the edge of your mat. And now inhale, head and knees come up. Walk your feet towards each other. Keeping your arms to a T, now let the soles of your feet connect and your knees melt out and down to the ground, letting your knees separate in Baddha Konasana. Just taking a couple breaths here. Letting gravity open up those thighs, muscles deep within the groin. And on your next inhale, just let those knees slowly rise, coming back together, soles of the feet plant. Turn your palms down to the ground. Keeping your arms to a T, let your knees come to your chest. Flexing your feet as you squeeze the legs together, take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, let your legs melt to the right as you turn your head to the left. Relaxing your feet before your left shoulder pulls away from the floor. Softening your body here in this twist. How does it feel different than any of the other twisting motions that you've done? Maybe you're feeling this a bit more intensely through that low back area. So send your breath there as you breathe in. And try to relax that whole area as you breathe out. Palms can face the ceiling if you prefer. After a few breaths, as the body has time to acclimatize and adjust, maybe you can squeeze your knees up a bit closer to that right arm. Maybe you want to add the weight of your right arm or hand to the outside of that left leg. Maybe it feels good to straighten the left leg or the right leg or both. Make this twist your own. Give your body what it needs at this moment in time. Just a couple more breaths on this side. If you've straightened either one of your legs or both, rebend them. If you've lifted the right arm, release it down. Turn both palms down as you flex your feet. Wait for your inhale to come up. Use your exhale to transition slowly to the other side, relaxing your feet before the right shoulder pulls away. And take those few breaths, that time to adjust before you go further. Your palms can face up if you'd like. Shoulders relaxed and down, away from the ears. Maybe those knees can come in a little closer to the chest. Maybe you want to add the weight of your left arm to the right leg. Maybe you've straightened one leg or both on the other side. Try to be symmetrical in what you do on one side. Try to do the same thing on the other side. Allowing your body to relax equally through the two sides. The eyes remain closed and the breath remains very deep, very slow, very steady. Gravity's pulling the shoulders down. Feel that sensation of relaxation through the entire low back area. If you've straightened the legs, rebend the knees. If you've lifted the left arm, release it back down. Turn both your palms down to the earth as you flex your feet. On the inhale, let your head and your knees come up slowly. Reach up for your knees with your hands, and with your eyes still closed, draw your forehead up towards the knees. Wrapping the arms more tightly around the legs. If you can, take another deep breath in. Holding the breath, scrunching the face, tightening the scalp, engaging every muscle throughout the body. Squeeze and release. Set your head down. Do you have extra clothing that you'd like to put on? Do you have a blanket you'd like to drape over the body? Maybe an eye pillow to block out the light within the space. So your job right now is to make yourself as comfortable as possible, because the more comfortable you are, the easier you will find it to remain still. And the physical stillness encourages the mental stillness. Feet nice and wide, flopping out to the sides. Arms on the same diagonal line as the legs, palms facing the ceiling. The back of the neck is long. Let your whole body grow heavy now. Especially through those points of contact that you really feel. The heels and the backs of the hands, calves, elbows, buttocks, shoulders, the back of your head, heavy. The body, completely relaxed. And the breath begins to grow softer and quieter and more natural. Starting to give the heart and the lungs a chance to relax as well. You're aware of your body on the floor, but you're not moving it, controlling it in any way. You're just letting it be there, heavy, relaxed. The body, completely relaxed. And the breath begins to grow softer and quieter and more natural. Starting to give the heart and the lungs a chance to relax as well. You're aware of your body on the floor, but you're not moving it, controlling it in any way. You're just letting it be there, heavy, relaxed. You're aware of your thoughts, but you're not attached to any one thought in particular. They come and they go, and you just watch them calmly, without judgment. You're aware of sounds around you, but it's like they're off in the distance. So aware of the sound of your own breath. Everything else just retreats. Allow your whole body here to relax as you take rest. Begin to deepen your breathing. Breathing in and out through your nose. And just start to bring some movement back to your fingers and your toes, to your wrists and your ankles. Letting your head turn very slowly from side to side, reawakening the body. And as your head now comes back to center, let your legs slide together as you point your toes. Reach the arms over the head and take a long, deep breath in. Stretch, extend, reach, and relax. Let your arms sweep back down to your sides. Draw your knees into your chest. And just rock from side to side, across your back one last time. And roll over to your right side. And pause here. And thank yourself for this practice today. With your eyes still closed and with as little movement as possible, start to make your way up to a seated position that you can be comfortable in. Bring your palms together, your hands at your heart. Sending a silent thank you out to those in the room who came to join you in this practice this morning. And I thank you for allowing me to share these teachings of yoga with you today. The divine light within me graciously, humbly acknowledges that same divine light within you. Namaste. Is it your birthday today, Kelly? Happy birthday. Thanks for sharing your birthday day.